Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss. The tactics, routines, and habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performers. Tim is well known for writing the 4-Hour Workweek, a book that sold 1.35 million copies worldwide and inspired people like me to quit their job, travel the world, and work on their own terms. So Arnold Schwarzenegger wrote the foreword for this book, so you can understand why I'm excited about the release of this book on December 6th. This video will show you 7 lessons based on the material that Tim and his review team have released publicly online. So I hope you enjoy, guys, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Lesson 1. Improve tools at the top of the funnel. So basically, you optimize the one thing that affects all the other things below it. So for example, the speed of your mouse affects every task you do on a computer, like checking emails. Tim's podcast guest Noah suggests going to your computer settings and doubling the speed of your mouse. Let's say you check 10 emails a day and you save half a second for each email you check. That's 5 seconds. Assuming you check email every day, you could save 30 minutes a year from a change that takes just 1 minute. And that doesn't take into account all the other tasks you do on your computer. Noah also suggests buying the best router you can afford. Your internet speed affects every task you do on your computer and mobile device. Noah uses, here we go, an Asus RT AC87U wireless AC-2400 dual band gigabit router. The second lesson is don't prioritize growing your social following. This is one I'm guilty of personally. So when we're talking business, forget likes and followers on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube. Focus on the stuff you can control that directly affects sales. So your email list, for example. It doesn't matter how many likes you get. All it means is someone has clicked a pixel on a screen. If I want to turn this channel into a real business, I should be focusing on capturing your emails and directing you to my online book club, rather than fussing about my subscriber count. Moving on to lesson 3, 3 apps to try. The first is Facebook Newsfeed Eradicator. I was so glad to see Tim include this tool in his book. It's one I've been using myself for a few months now. So what it does is it replaces your Facebook newsfeed with success quotes. That's so much better than the time-wasting garbage you would have mindlessly consumed otherwise. The second is schedule once. No longer do you need to go, how about next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m, Johnny? Well, organizing times to meet up back and forth will eat your life away. I use a similar app called Calendly, and trust me, it makes things much easier. And number 3 is followup.cc. This is for automating email follow-ups and reminders. Tim personally uses a tool called Nudge Mail in combination with Boomerang, so you'll never have to remember to follow up with anyone again. Moving on to lesson 4, doing is everything. This is a lesson James Altucher got from the book. Derek Sivers said, "If all we needed was more information, then everyone would be a billionaire with perfect abs." He makes a great point. There's a whopping 700 pages of advice in Tim's book, but how do you know what will work for you? Well, just pick a few things that actually resonate with you. Just start doing. Dan O'Reilly once said to James, "If you say sorry to someone, even if you don't mean it, even if they know you don't mean it, then you still have a better relationship with them a year later compared with people who never say sorry." Lesson 5 is short and sweet. Follow your own advice, because if you can't, no advice will work. Simple but powerful. Lesson 6, don't be afraid to do something you're not qualified to do. Dan Carlin was not a historian and had no PhD, but he was fascinated by history. His mum told him, "Why don't you start a podcast about the stories you tell here at the dinner table?" Dan replied, "But I don't have a doctorate." She said, "I didn't realize you had to have a doctorate to tell stories." So Dan now hosts one of the most popular history podcasts in the world. The last technique is the one I found most interesting. So it's called the morning pages technique. Write down 3 pages of absolute garbage without stopping every single morning. It gets rid of writer's block as it frees your mind to do anything it likes. Try this and see if it boosts your creativity. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video. I feel so much better now that I'm actually using a different animation style. It's actually challenging me, keeping me engaged, and it got me into that flow state, which I haven't been in for such a long time. I'm actually really enjoying what I'm doing now. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video after the meditation retreat that I'm going on.